Ladies and gentlemen of the GMI family, introducing our one and only, the tire to Toko tire, the ginger mistress of our business, the one that to always keep us alert and up and doing in our business, one that wants to see us progress. Welcome, Tire of Toko tire. Clap, everybody. Standing ovation.
If you are driving, don't clap.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you for introducing me. Abuja Celebrity Realtor. So welcome to class. And today we are continuing with our topic, transformational selling. Last week we spoke about the fact that before you can sell to anybody, you must be able to sell to yourself, because selling is a transference of enthusiasm. If you're not enthusiastic about what you're selling, nobody will buy. And I was saying about the fact that a lot of people are looking for scripts. If I give everybody here the same script, the result will differ. So what's going to make the result differ? Even if the things you are selling is the same price, you have the same offer, you are speaking the same language, you have the same script, what will make the result differ? The result will differ because of the vibration, because of the energy. And I went ahead to explain that. So I said today we'll be talking about the 4 levels of influence. First, I need you to know that selling is influence. Selling is influence.
How Rich People Think by Steve Siebel.
Selling is influence. Your ability to influence people, your ability to say, get this product is going to make your life 10x is influence. But there are 4 levels to influencing. And I'm going to run through the 4 levels of influencing quickly. First, you need to be able to influence yourself. That's level 1. Level 2, you need to be able to influence people one-to-one. Level 3, you need to be able to influence people one-to-many. Then the 4th one is legendary influence. So first, influencing yourself. I need you to know that sales is the transference of certainty and clarity. The degree to which you are certain and clear about any product you're selling is the degree to which you'll be able to influence other people. So I see too many people quickly run to say, I want to sell. And guess what? You're not convinced. And until you are convinced about selling yourself, until you feel comfortable about selling, your buyer will not feel comfortable with buying from you. So if you're here, if you're here and you look at your results and you don't like your results, do not blame anybody, but look at yourself and tell yourself, how do I influence myself? If as little as do a video, as little as post to time, as little as make the call, little self-discipline you cannot carry out. So tell me, how would you be able to sell to the next man? You have to be certain about what you're selling. You have to be clear. When you are certain about what you're selling, that energy, your buyer will also feel that energy. Certainty and clarity. You need to be comfortable about selling. So the question is, how do you get yourself comfortable with selling? You need to upskill yourself. And that's why we're taking our time here in the GMI. And that's what we're actually going to be doing throughout in the period of Promax, so that you can feel comfortable with selling, because until you sell, you are not doing the world any good. Everything that you see around you that has made life comfortable for you or easier for you is because somebody chose to sell to you. Now that you are comfortable selling, that you are now able, you have skilled yourself, and there are a lot of aspects around selling: tonality, body posture, voice dexterity, so many things. Until you are comfortable about selling in that degree, you will not be able to get people to buy. And that's why people's results vary. You see, some people selling the same product, one is making millions, one is making multi-millions, one is not even selling at all because they've been able to develop themselves to varying degree. Next, after you're able to convince yourself and certain about your product and you are clear about your product, then you can convince people one-to-one. The next level is after you're able to convince people one-to-one. See, I used to tell people, that's why I tell people, if you cannot sell to the little 30 followers you have, you're not going to be able to sell to 3,000 followers. Because it's easier for me to say blessing, call blessing and close blessing up. It's a lot easier. If I'm not able to sell to blessing one-to-one, so tell me, is it when I go and put 30 people in the room and they're all looking at me, some of them are looking at me like lions, some of them are looking at me sheepishly. Is that when I'll be able to sell? So now that you are clear with yourself, practice selling every day. Every day you meet people at your place of work, you go to the supermarket, you are in the business of selling. Talk to people one-on-one about your products. Then the next level will be one-to-many. Like this, like what we do on Zoom, one-to-many. When you have a lot of people. Then the next one is legendary selling. That's transgenerational, where whether you are alive or not, your things are still being sold. You've influenced and impacted a lot of people. Even at your death, your product is still being in sales. That's legendary. Now to the next thing, still on transformational selling. I want to talk about internal activator of a buyer. For people to buy from you, there are things that influences people's buying decision. And until you're able to influence this thing that is subconscious in people, selling will be a lot difficult. So yeah, I have unlocked the buyer's 4 internal activators. Unlock, that's the title. The buyer's 4 internal activator. And the acronym is CORE. 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 Every buyer, it's like what we say, let me briefly share about this. It's like when we talk about storytelling. Storytelling talks to that part of the human being that is emotional. And all buying decision is made in that emotional part. See, I like to tell you something. Until you're able to put a buyer, until you're able to put a person in a buying state, you cannot sell to that person. Let me say that again. Until you're able to put a person in a buying state, you cannot sell to that person. That's why when people say, I've spoken, I've got 100 people, they're not buying. My question is, did you even notice that they were in the buying state? Now, if you notice that somebody is not in a buying state, what did you do to condition that person to be in a buying state? Because until people are in a buying state, they will not buy from you. So now, how do we unlock this internal activator? Like I said, is in the acronym CORE. First, the first internal activator is certainty and uncertainty. You can type in the chat, certainty and uncertainty. So the question is, what makes people, the C there is certainty and uncertainty. Type in the chat. What makes people take action? Why should anybody buy from you? People buy at the intersection of 2 things. They must be certain and uncertain. Is that not interesting? You want to take it on? Want to say a bit about that?
Okay, so this is the first thing that we need to attend to in sales. We need to understand that people disconnect from things that are completely strange to them or they cannot relate with. That's why you notice that when new products are being presented to the markets, they are presented as innovations of the old, slight improvements or adjustments of products that you already are used to. Why? Because it's easier to sell to people something they already know. But that immediately creates a problem Because why should I pay for something if I already have it?
So let me put to that, something you already know, that means something you are familiar with.
So I need to have certainty or familiarity with a product for me to be able to make the decision to buy. But then there must be a gap, a promise, a future that must be added to that certainty, which is what my product is going to deliver on. So to connect the sales, you must have certainty. To make the sales, to connect the buyer, you have certainty. To make the sales, there's the promise, the uncertainty, the newness. Now, for certainty and uncertainty, the first things you need to understand is human beings are designed to function by fear, flight or what? Freeze or flight. Because our brains were not designed to help us succeed. Our brains were designed to keep us alive. So safety is the first most important thing the human mind is thinking about, and things that are familiar help us to feel safe. That's why when you present your product to people, the more familiar you can make them feel around the product, the safer they feel to get in a conversation with you.
So that's why when you introduce a product, somebody is saying, please, who has used it? Who has tested it? You come and let's say everybody is buying product A. You are coming to introduce B. People are asking you, who has bought this product? And this is where you begin to introduce social proof. You must show certainty in your communication.
Now we understand certainty and uncertainty and how that is the first level to transformational selling.
So let me give you an example. You hear GMI, grow and monetize Instagram. It's certain, it feels familiar.
Instagram is what everybody is trying to learn. Grow is a simple word. Monetize is a simple word. But then you all know that you have the gap in growing correctly and in monetizing correctly. So even though it feels familiar, it also holds the promise to fulfill the parts that you do not have.
So the curiosity there, when you hear like, okay, you have to do 6 months, then you begin to like, okay, so what's in it that you're teaching for 6 months? So but there must be that thing too, as you being the seller, where your buyer feels like, okay, it's not new. So that's why totally new products are difficult to sell most times.
Most difficult to sell.
Go and ask Indomie, the work they did to break the market. Do you see? So that's internal activator 1. The next activator is opportunity for growth. Every human being is looking for growth. So when you are putting out your offer and your messaging, you must talk about the growth. Your offer and messaging must center around health, wealth, relationship. This is the 3 core areas of growth. And I need you to know that everything impacts everything. So take, for instance, if I'm selling to you GMI, I'm going to talk about the fact that, especially, let me tell you, let me give you an example. I'm going to talk about the fact that when you get GMI, it helps you make money. Once you make money, you'll be able to attend to your relationship better. Your people around will value you the more.
And that less stress will help you to remain healthier.
So whatever product you are selling, that's why I was explaining yesterday for people that didn't the upgrade sponsor that about the benefit of the benefit. Your land, your land that you are selling is not just for
the purpose of acquiring property. How does it affect somebody's ego? How does it increase their bottom line? How does it increase their place in life? So
when you're putting out your messenger, you're talking to people and selling your products, you must always show that place that is going to help them grow.
How is it a communication of effective love in relationship?
Growth. Your product must show that people can grow because they have gotten it. And I don't care whatever you say. If you sell, you do. So taking low-cost is going to affect your health.
It will improve your eyesight.
So if it affects your health, that means that the money you're supposed to spend on health, you'll be able to use it to buy good things of life. You'll be able to use it to buy land. So there's nothing I'm going to say about that. Then you're going to be buying my room. Remember what I said about you must show growth, that a person can grow in their messaging and in your offer. Then the third internal activator is relationship. People do things for different reasons.
Or better said, you will more often than not have people in your life that you are ready and willing to sacrifice more for than for yourself.
So take, for instance, when I'm marketing to women and we've gotten into conversation and I hear women say, hey, see, my husband is even devaluing me. My husband is doing all of those things, this. It's a very good marketing for me. Every woman wants the relationship of her husband. So you know what I tell them? I tell them that if you get into this GMI, guess what will happen? You know how to sell. So you'll be able to sell your product, and your husband that is looking at you like rubbish will begin to look at you with respect.
Please, ma, which quotes? Which quote do you want us to type?
About relationship, yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't remember it.
I'm not sure I did a quote too.
What you said now, before.
Okay, more often in time in life, people have someone that they will do more for, sacrifice more for, take risk because of, more than for themselves. When I was younger, it was my mom. Now I'm older, it's my wife. For some other people, it's their children.
For some people, it's their husband.
For most women, it's their husband. Using this to trigger them to make the sales decision is an important part of selling effectively and helping people to experience transformation through the product you are selling. So let me go to the person that is selling cakes. You get a wife to order a surprise package for her husband. And it is beyond just the cake and the surprise. It is what she's doing to improve her relationship with her spouse. It is something that she's going to give to him that is going to get him to better respect her, feel more loved, and therefore help the man to be more productive in his work and most likely help him to be healthier in life.
So if you say something like this, surprise your husband today so that your husband can love you more. When your husband loves you more, he will care for you more. I'm not advertising based on get my cakes is the cheapest.
Now we're talking about value on the relationship that affects what you are giving to the relationship.
Then also, when you want to sell things, and I had this one in mind, there's someone that I know, that's Wale Jono. Wale Jono, when he sells his perfume, says, celebrities are using this perfume. In the recess of your consciousness, everybody wants to be like a celebrity. So guess what? You're going to buy his perfume because he has advertised that celebrities use it. So take, for instance, Blessing Agba, has now decided to accept that she's the Abuja celebrity realtor. So when you have something, do you know why people are raving? Let me tell you, I use it a lot, relationship. People are raving. Let me go with Blessing. Do you know why people are getting land from the Abuja celebrity realtor? Of course, because she attends to celebrity, and I'm sure you want to have a relationship with other celebrities. So before you look any further and consider any other realtor, you should be talking to Abuja celebrity realtor. You are using relationship to sell your product. And I'm talking relationship different ways. First, when you talk to people, and people say, if I can even get this land, I'm doing it because of my children. Good, that's a good anchor. You pick it up and you say—
How old are your children? Straight up, get into a conversation about the children. That's the relationship that is important. That will help them to make a decision.
The second one I'm talking about is where you use your own self. So take, for instance, this is what I do. When I'm marketing to realtors, I use this a lot. In the GMI, we have a lot of realtors. That relationship, people want to be where their own other folks are. So I use it in marketing. So how are you going to use your own? So you come and they're like, do you not get to the GMI? You're going to say a lot of realtors that are closing a lot of sales. You need to be in there. You need to come in there. Look at you, your own business. And I use Blessing, who calls herself celebrity realtor. Do you know if you get land from me, you will be relating with the Abuja celebrity realtor because celebrity buy land. Now, somebody can say, celebrity is not yet buying land from me. The power of affirmation.
Call those things
that be
as
not,
though they were.
As though they
My mother's saying, it is how you call your markets that others will call it. It's the name by which you introduce yourself that we will call you.
The example I brought up for Joy, specifically when I was, I forgot in a moment, if you remember, when I was saying about, I'm going to tell Joy. So maybe Joy comes, I can't remember at the moment, maybe I remember Joy.
Joy is the one into furniture, Zabi.
Yes, yes. So you can come and talk about the fact that celebrities are buying your products. You can come and talk about the fact that be like your, okay, good. You can come and talk about the fact that,
you can talk about the fact that this class of people are consuming these products. It's relationships. You're using relationships to present your products to the people around you. And then the next point
is evolution of self, the E in core, evolution of self. At every stage and point in life, we are all evolving. And people buy for different reasons. People buy for status, people buy for self-actualization, people buy for ego, people buy for significance. Trigger all of these things in your offer and while you're talking. So take for instance now.
What's the evolution of self? It is the consciousness of growth, that you are no longer where you were. For example, let me take the GMI. Would you not want people to know that you are taking a 250,000 naira course as against taking a 2,000 naira course? Is it not something to be proud of? Or I just invested a 1 million naira in personal development, as against all I've done to invest in my development is just one book. Evolution of self.
People evolve. You take, for instance, you were comfortable. You were doing things for survival's sake. Immediately,
let me break it down. Okay. At a point in life, you were comfortable for some people with yakuyu. Any meal anywhere will do. Any water anywhere will do. But as you ascended in life, certain things became uncomfortable for you anymore. Your products have a place where you can present this evolution of self. Oh, now that you have become this successful, your pot, your kitchen pot should not be less than 1 million naira. Your health now matters to you more. So you're thinking about that. Your value is a lot more. It's more than just how you feel about yourself. Your life is important to other people. So it's more important you take care of your health. And a 4 million naira investment in set of pots to help you eat the healthiest of food is a wise investment. That product is being sold on evolution of self.
Status symbol. Oh, really?
All of your friends are now driving these cars. You should own one of such. Yeah. At this age, this is what people are doing. You should be doing the same too.
So all of these things are the things. That's why when you write, and like I said, for the people in Promax, we'll still be covering things like copywriting, so that you will know exactly how to use these words to trigger. Whether you are writing to close sales or you are talking, so that you can put your prospect in a ready-to-buy state. Now I need to round up with it. All actions are preceded by thoughts, feelings, and belief. All actions are preceded by thoughts, feelings, and belief. You cannot get someone to take a new action without influencing their thoughts and belief. And that's why we thought about all of these buyers, internal activator, so that you can talk in a way as to unlock and put them in a state to buy. And that's going to be part 2 of the transformational selling. Next week, we'll be going to part 3.